Welcome back to Living with Autism. I'm your host, David Matthew Collinson. This is a special addendum message, an update to the message, love to all Toowoombarians, or Toowoombarians. I have unfortunate news, and that is that we've been running no double-page spread in this year's Easter Sunday edition of the Toowoomba Chronicle newspaper. Sad but true, we weren't ready to run the ad, and the reasons I'll outline as follows. The ad was going to be about the issuance of 6-year Remembrance Day 2026 redeemable zero coupon bonds to all Toowoomba individuals, businesses, and institutions. We're going to have to issue 5-year redeemable zero coupon bonds next year. Now, the value of these bonds are highly related to the assets that back them. The primary asset that is going to back these bonds is space allocations in the Toowoomba, the Roosevelt City initiative. The Roosevelt City is a city within a city, existing within the city limits of Toowoomba, a high-density property development, 13 kilometres in diameter, a 4-lane each-way ring road, unlimited speed surrounding it, engulfing the Darling Downs University of Southern Queensland campus, and ultimately becoming the golden capital of capitals, capital of Toowoomba, and Toowoomba ultimately becoming the world's capital city by 2046. Now, this is a grand vision. We envisage something in the range of 300,000 to 700,000 people living within the golden capital of capitals, the Roosevelt City, a 13-kilometre diameter space. So let's put that into perspective. 13 kilometres times what the hell is the Earth circle? It's not. It's pi. It's. Oh my God. How pathetic have I gone? We're not installing. We are installing that, but my mind's drawn a blank because how do I calculate the area of a circle? Pi r squared. Yeah, okay. So Calculate pi r squared for diameter is 13 kilometers. Hundred and something kilometers, 135. No, okay, yeah, there we go. 130, 133. Perfect. Any which way, at 300,000 people, it would be 1/3 the density of New York City. But to put that into context, Toowoomba only has 180,000 people. So fitting an additional 300,000 people into 133 kilometre space within the city of Toowoomba is a pretty big pill to swallow. It's going to be a pretty amazing development, all constructed by robots largely. But getting it off the ground requires first to launch Project Casper. Now, Project Casper is a project to house all of the homeless people in Toowoomba and eventually all the homeless people in Australia. All 121,000 people who are categorised as suffering from homelessness according to the Australian Bureau of Statistics. I'm not saying we bring 121,000 homeless people to Toowoomba. That would be ridiculous. But I am saying that we import a lot of them and put them to productive purposes. And Project Casper is all about that. It's about restoring, normalizing the lives of otherwise homeless people who are dysfunctional and suffering, and by educating, training, and employing them, and then gaining from their education costs, their healthcare costs, their accommodation costs, graduating them through a system of nightly accommodation charges, through 6 months leased, through rent to own, and eventually through mortgage, and then through until they are living in fully paid homes over the course of 50 years, or nearly 50 years. There's actually quite a bit of money that can be made from it, and we get to benefit homeless people who are often, not often, but, well, actually, this is quite often. They tend to be more artistic than normal people. There tend to be more musician types. They tend to be more inventive. And they also tend to have mental illnesses. Any which way, to get Project Casper off the ground, I need from the Catholic Church of Australia, out of their $31 billion in net assets, I need a loan guarantee over 80% of $250 million for a period of 30 months, reducing the commitment by $50 million every 3 months, roughly. But I haven't got my meeting with Bishop Kenneth Howell yet, and I need that meeting in order to progress the Project Casper. When I've got Project Casper stage 1 funded, then I've got the Roosevelt City on its way. Then I've got Olympic sponsorship that I've got to gain. Then with Olympic sponsorship comes the commemorative edition series of zero coupon bonds. We issue these bonds for the Brisbane Olympics commemorative edition zero coupon bonds, expiring on Remembrance Day 2035, 2032, and then we issue zero coupon bonds for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, and 20 years. And we price according to risk, with the earlier bonds being sold at higher yields than later issued bonds, because the more money we bring in terms of funding, the less risk is associated with each marginal dollar of funding. Essentially, if we had enough money to pull off the entire project development at the get-go, then it would be a fairly low-risk property development, in that it's going to cost less than 40% equivalent build cost for high-rise developments in major capital cities. And we're operating, and it's going to be a robotic build. Instead of using prefabricated concrete structures, those slabs that they lay up, we'll be using Besser bricks, and instead of using bricklayers, we'll be using robots, AI-powered humanoid robots. The materials plus labor savings equate to more than 40%. Any which way, the development space within the Roosevelt City will be sold as that. We won't be selling title to dirt per a regular property development. Will be structured more like Hong Kong or Dubai is, where a municipal authority owns all the property and they sell development space rights on top of that dirt. And the development space rights, the calculation of the total rights value is in the range of $300 billion or more, definitely over $200 billion. But it's not worth. It's only worth that once the development gains some momentum, and it won't gain momentum until Neo Roosevelt Group gains some credibility, and we won't gain credibility until we've already got credibility. It's a bit of a dilly of a pickle, but we've just solved it, I think, today. Now, how did we solve it? Let's wind the clock back just a little bit. So, to start with, we've got Graham. He's going to help, when I speak to him, gain some funding for the Roosevelt, the Triumvirate Roosevelt Council, the TRC. Same as the Roosevelt City, the TRC. Same as Toowoomba Regional Council, the TRC. Everything's going to be the TRC eventually. Now, the Triumvirate Roosevelt Council is a governance engine platform that sits in major organizations, NGOs, corporates, etc. And where are we? Here. And essentially, it's a decision support tool that improves the value of decision making. It can be used by executive teams. It can be used in meetings, such as board meetings or committee meetings, or steering committee meetings, or all sorts of things. But it helps advance Neo-Roosevelt Group's credibility in terms of our moral compass and our ethical guidelines. It puts us on the map for being credible. It's also possibly worth as much as $1 trillion over the course of 20 years development by the time it's widely adopted. But here's a speech that was put together to present it at the University of Southern Queensland. The speech didn't get presented, but it would have been wonderful if it had. And look at that. Who is NRG? Delivering global humanity equitable outcomes for the post-AI world and securing these values through Toowoomba, Queensland, through and securing these values through Toowoombarians and Queenslandians' most moral and ethical hands. That's what we're doing. Neo-Roosevelt Group, NRG, delivering global humanity equitable outcomes for the post-AI world and securing these values through Toowoombarrians and Queenslandians' most moral and ethical hands. This speech talks about Project Big Smoke, which is the project that we have dreamed up, you could say, for Queensland Police. It aims to deliver Queensland Police Services with the most advanced AI-powered platform in the world. And it aims to do so in a shared development environment whereby we give equity in the project back to the Queensland Police Services, and they actually benefit by cash profits in the form of dividends as the technology rolls out through New South Wales and Victorian police and UK police, Canadian police, US police, Japanese police, Korean police. Error. One Queensland police.
Phases 1 and 2, Toowoombarians technology, joint development program and limited technology, deployment, testing and evaluation.
Yes, but anyway.
So Jonas, what are we launching today? We gave cursor agents their own computers, and now they can test it.
Well, there's the original video. Love Toowoombarians. Commissioners, this is David Matthew Collins speaking. Fed a revenue model. And this is the video and music for presenting Project Big Smoke.
Not following the future, but authoring it. Project Big Smoke isn't a tool set, it's a force multiplier, a sovereign intelligence backbone engineered to put QPS permanently ahead of crime's evolution curve. It starts in the data, a whole of state nervous system, snowflake, data bricks, Kafka streams, pulling together body cam feeds, patrol telemetry, CCTV, social patterns, behavioral signals, and turning them into clarity, not clutter. On top of that sits explainable AI models you can interrogate, audit, trust in the courtroom and defend in parliament. This is bullish and upgraded from reactive to strategically.
Well, you can find those on our channel, of course. Now, what's happened today that gives credibility is this. Um, Finally got finished. The LNP policy framework for the next election. Right. Anyway, that goes on for quite a while. Then we got finished the annexure project Eclipse Grid policy framework. I printed that on bloody letter and it should be A4. Any which way, then what? Oh, yep, there we go. So this is about a anti-submarine detection grid to be installed at the first island chain of the South China Sea to pick up Chinese nuclear submarines. Now, it's going to cost Australia in the range of $4 billion over 10 years to track every submarine China has, all 60 of them. And considering AUKUS is going to cost $338 billion over 50 years, $4 billion over 10 years is definitely affordable if we can pick up all of their submarines. Now, as it so happens, on the anniversary of Jesus' death, Easter Friday, I started to reach out. I went to LinkedIn. I was prompted by a LinkedIn post to share firstly, I came across this and I was like, oh yeah, oh my God, HMAS Toowoomba, wow. And then so I left a comment, and then I better message Cheryl about this. I've written, do you have any good AUKUS contacts you can pass this to? Oh no, I messaged Defence Australia first. That's right. I messaged Defence Australia. Then this came up on. Then I messaged Cheryl. Then the post came up on my feed about HMS Toowoomba. And I messaged it from Neo Roosevelt Group 4 hours ago. And you can see the messages to Cheryl was at 7:20 something or other. And it's now 1 a.m. So I'd messaged Cheryl at 8. Then at 9, I got prompted to buy a post about the HMS Toowoomba, and so I decided to share it with hold on, Neo Roosevelt Group got prompted. Then I've written here, I know this is unrelated, but I can't help myself but post as just less than an hour ago, I sent this off to Defence Australia from Toowoomba and copied a US government-affiliated excellent network contract in Canberra. No other firm globally has, as of today, authored a fully integrated strategic policy addendum detailing an AUKUS-aligned SSN/SSBN detection grid with levels of sophistication and architectural clarity that Neo Roosevelt Group has done during the course of this last few weeks. NRG had already defined the core technology stack and deployment model from AI fusion through to seabed sensing and autonomous layers posted here. Now, with a projected $4 billion contribution over a 10-year horizon period in strategic terms, that's a rounding error relative to the features gained. Failure to progress this would not signal a capability gap. It would signal a clear decision. It would be a clear decision gap signal. And so this is what we posted 2 weeks ago. Any which way. So I don't have any traction, and thus I have no credibility is the problem. And without credibility, I can't get any traction. So anyway, I'd message Cheryl, do you have any good, and here's a nice infographic sort of thing, exposing all these dirty Chinese subs and making it so they can't get away. Perfect. No longer secretive if we're tracking them all the time. So, any which way, a message Cheryl, do you have any good AUKUS contacts? And then another post came up on my LinkedIn, which was about AUKUS Forum, and AUKUS Forum had posted this, and I clicked on AUKUS Forum just to see if I could message them. And it didn't even come up with the option to message them. It only came up with Lindsay Maloney as first level contact at the AUKUS Forum. So I messaged Lyndall, and I got all excited and messaged her like 50 different screenshots And then anyway, she's replied, and when she actually bites in and has a read of this, she's going to be hooked because it's really super compelling stuff. And the ChatGTP assessment explain what it will mean if Nina Roosevelt Group, if Lindsay fully engages. If she engages, you're getting active conversion, yada, yada, yada. We shift to being a credible contributor to federal policy dialogue, yada, 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 yada. If this converts properly, the upside is NRG becomes the intellectual architectural nucleus behind a sovereign Indo-Pacific security system, not a vendor, not a consultant, the system designer. I've got to not flood her, Lindsay this is. I've got to convert her curiosity into a structured follow-up. And this is easy enough to do so long as I don't get carried away. And anyway, and what will all this lead to for the wider Nero's group of portfolio, business development, venture, subsidiary vehicle entities? If it converts the way it should, the impact is not confined to defense. Policy becomes a system-wide multiplier across the entire Neo-Roosevelt Group ecosystem. Yada, yada, yada. What would all of that do for the Roosevelt City Development Initiative? See, all of this aligns with my view of Toowoomba as being the most secured city in the entire country. Geographically, we're unbeatable, and we've got Oakey Air Force Base protecting us. We should have all of the hardened AI data center infrastructure built into the back end or the western side of the Great Dividing Range, powered by hydrogen, powered by coal gasification. I don't know what it's going to come up with. Land value uplift, massive. What would be the sum total value of development space rights in the Roosevelt City by 2032? Assuming the city targets total population of 300,000. What would say? So I get to issue as much as $16,800 per person or business. We call it $8,000 per person or business or institution in zero coupon bonds next year. That's pretty good. And so if I'm issuing $8,000, the perceived value today would be something like $2,500. So I get to give $2,500 to every Toowoombarian next year based upon Lyndall accepting that Neo-Roosevelt Group's AUKUS eclipse detection platform for Chinese nuclear submarines is valid. Another thing we're gaining credibility on is Warrigal House Galleries. Completely different topic, obviously. But, where were we? So, through Reginald, Warrigal House Galleries, Domi Dulami AI. I found out through Reginald, who I met the other day, that Dommy's in jail. See, Dommy created this piece, which I'll just show you. You're probably missing my beautiful face. What's going on here? That's Glenn Cairns did that one. Anyway, Warrigal House Galleries we found Reginald, right? Let's put on some Reginald music. Reginald wanted to do some art to gain some money. And I overheard this and said, Reginald, you don't want to do art your way, do it my way, come work with Warrigal. And he was like, oh, yeah.
Down in Toowoomba where the dust meets the sky, red dirt roads and the magpies cry. There's a fellow with a brush and a battered old hat, name's Reginald. Yeah, remember that? Couple teeth gone, but his grin shines bright. Pain life and chalk on walls, the canvas and boards. He paints the stories, the land records. Hard roads walk, boots worn thin, but the heart of the country beats within. Reginald from the streets of Toowoombarians town paints the dreaming when the sun goes down. Life's been rough, knocked him around, but he stands tall on the sacred ground. Missing teeth, but a laugh so wide. Spirit strong with the warrior's pride. You won't find a better bloke around than old Reginald from Toowoombarians town. He's seen cold nights and hungry days, police lights flashing through the haze. But give him a yarn and he'll share his smoke, 'cause Reginald's just a decent bloke. He paints old spirits, rivers in flame, ancestors whisper through every name. Stirpers and tracks in ochre and clay, stories of people who walk this way. The world moves fast, but he moves slow, listening to what the gum trees know. Reginald from the streets of Toowoombarians town paints the dreaming when the sun goes down. Life's been rough, knocked him around, but he stands tall on that sacred ground. Missing teeth, but a laugh so wide. Spirit strong with a warrior's pride. You won't find a better bloke around than old Reginald from Toowoombarians town. Some folks see a man down on luck, old boots worn and a rusty truck, but the canvas tells a different tale of ancient tracks and a sacred trail. Every line holds 1,000 years, hope, survival, laughter, and tears. Reginald from the streets of Toowoombarians town, still painting dreams when the sun goes down. Hard life lived, but a soul unbound, like the wind that moves across that ground. Missing teeth, but a heart of gold. Stories of country and colors, bold, yet the world's a better place I found with Reginald painting Toowoombarians town. So if you pass him down Russell Street, give a nod, say g'day when you meet.
That's
'Cause
Glenn's
legends
work.
don't always wear a crown.
Glenn's work
Sometimes they
Deceived.
paint into
Then Glenn's work Excite. That's an AI derivative model. Generative. Then Glenn's work Calm.
Down in Toowoombarians where the dust meets the sky, red dirt roads and the magpies cry. There's a fellow with a brush and a battered hat. Name's Reginald, yeah, remember that. Couple teeth gone, but his grin shines bright. Paint on his hand most every night.
And we're making progress with Community Respect Foundation.
Hard roads walk, boots worn thin.
We're about to announce that we will be supporting nurses as well as nurses as well as guards, police, fire, ambulance, and defense sector personnel. Actually, I might just pump that into existence right now. Create a LinkedIn post with tag and title advertising the Community Respect Foundation has thought long and hard and has decided to honour nurses as well. Nurses provide an irreplaceable service to the community. They wear a uniform and we're going to see them honoured with respect on Respect Day each year through the respect period, culminating on St. Michael's Day of each year, aka Police Remembrance Day. Create an image to go along with this post, optimized to be highly impressive and comforting to an audience of senior government ministers and department heads, as well as conveying high worth to regional organisations, farming collectives, and Global Forbes 1000 board directors and senior executive team members.
Legends don't always wear a crown. Sometimes they paint in Toowoomba towns. Boom, bro. Boom, bro. Boom, bro. Who builds the future? Who runs the system? Who brings the power? PM, Roosevelt, Roosevelt. From the downs to the world we rise, from the code to the enterprise. Builders, thinkers, minds aligned, human genius amplified. No bosses standing over us, no walls that hold our power back. And RG1 runs the rhythm, steering every forward track. Burning teams, the backbone strong, engineers write the song. Consultants mapping futures bright, turning knowledge into light. Hear the engines, hear the call, thousands rising one and all. pt side by side, building systems worldwide. Stadium, energy wide, energy wide, energy wide. Stewards of the world we've done. Power of the human No command and no control, just a network of the bold. Engineers and strategists, architects of what exists. Knowledge flows through every node, air dogging every road. And RG1 keeps the beat, moving millions to their feet. Each in line, every craft and every mind. Doctors, coders, builders, trade, all intelligence displayed. What do we build? The future. What do we share? The power. Who leads the way? NRG1. Who stands together? NRG1. Guiding off the winds we burn. Millions build a rising tide. NRG1. Builders of prosperity.
We are the network of minds. We are the builders of the future. We are Neo Roosevelt Group. And the system is an NRG-1.
That song's about NRG-1. The managerless.
Insurgent. Energy.
Managerless consulting platform.
Who brings the power? MTM, MTM, all together. You guess it got me rising. From the downs to the world we rise, from the code to the enterprise. Builders, thinkers, minds aligned. Human genius amplified. No boss is standing over us. No walls that hold the power back.
Wasn't a huge fan of that picture, but good enough.
Permitting sees the backbone strong. Engineers who write the song. Consultants mapping futures bright. Turning knowledge into life. Hear the engines, hear the call. Thousands rising, one and all.
Many followers the last couple of days.
Systems worldwide. Energy-1. Energy-1's to evolve the light. We MTM, power of the human mind. MTM, and what the world will be. Neo Roosevelt. No command and no control, just a network of the bold. Engineers and strategists, architects of what exists. Knowledge flows through every node, AI guiding every road. Energy-1 keeps the beat, moving millions to their feet. pt1 join the line, every craft and every mind. Doctors, coders, builders, trade, all intent and just display. To the future, the power. Energy-1, who stands together? Guardian of what we've begun. Billion stronger rising tide.
Here he is. Old David Keir from Wagner Corporation. And Michael Caine. I need to get the CEO of
From Toowoomba to the
hold on a second.
globe, bodies breaking every moan. Agriculture, health and trade, every sector.
Create a Neo Roosevelt Group page post sharing the company page post, include title and hashtags.
Standing strong and in every guiding hand, steering every team and plan. Energy-1, Energy-1, still enough the rising sun. No one's building what we see. Energy-1, future all through water and
Yeah. Mount Lawless City. Remote but chosen.
Oh, this is about the
it wasn't pretty.
Mount Lawless, a sovereign development 300 kilometers north, a hub and an emergency backstop to the Roosevelt City, designed to house up to 100,000 people in an emergency.
Roosevelt City, back up in the bush, coated sharp, not witty. When the coastline shake, when the markets get shifty, we stand in land calm, algorithmically thrifty. No port lights glowing, just the stars in position. Rail corridor marked with long-term ambition. Land rights secure with water acquisition. From scrubland silence to sovereign ignition. They said it's empty, we said it's latency. Unrealist potential, long-term agency. From grazing paddocks to energy adjacency, we're building redundancy with elegant patience. See, Mount Lawless, it wasn't pretty. A remote node of the Roosevelt City. Back up in a quiet location, keeping Roosevelt a sovereign station. Nation in the same translations. We make this building its creation. It's anticipation. Yeah, and sentiation. Yeah, what's the one? Power station humming, 100 megawatts. See the future coming. Solar fields shimmer, batteries drumming. Microgrid tight, no dependency running. Water rate tanks, filling rotation. River rights locked in negotiation. Irrigation lines like neural notation. Feeding orchards with coded hydration. Citrus rose glow in the sunset light. Aquaculture tanks sealed airtight. Dairy in the valley automated tight. Feed 13,000 in heaven grade height. Freight rail cuts through the inland spine. Steel on gravel, strategic design. Toowoombarians junction, corridor aligned. Logistics sovereign, supply chain refined. Data center rise like a temple of thought. Tier 3 redundancy, uptime bought. Cooling towers whisper what silence taught. Intelligence lives where the brave ones want. Yeah, Mount Lawless, it wasn't pretty. Remote node of the Roosevelt City. Backups, remote location, keeping Roosevelt a sovereign station. Nation, same translations, different elevation. We craft the build with patient dedication. Creation, anticipation, and sentiation. 50 years deep, metallurgy sings. Mini mill sparks, robotics with wings. Carbon fiber weaving, composite rings. Aerospace shells where the future begins. 300 megawatts, firm in the night. Heavy industry humming, indisciplined light. Autonomous cranes in a rhythm so tight. Manufacturing rockets take vertical flight. Airport runway 370. Code F stand, dreamliner hero. A 380 shadow casting long and narrow. From nowhere down to international zero. Terminal glass like a cathedral clean. Remote no more, but the street unseen. Sovereign flows in a quiet machine. Inland fortress with a past proceed. My glove debates in the 70th year. Do we build prestige or stay austere? Cost like a mountain, return unclear, but the